my first cup of coffee being with my grandparents. I think I was around 6 years old. I tried the Turkish coffee they would have after every meal, but I remember it being way too strong at the time. It wasn't until 10 years after that I had my second cup, and well, the rest is history. A memorable coffee experience that inspired my passion for the craft would be when I worked at a specialty coffee shop, and it was the first time that I got to taste such fruity floral notes from a cup of coffee, which was totally new to me coming from an Eastern European background where we always drink black, darker roasts. Where I continue to get my inspiration from coffee is all around me. I'm super grateful to be living in Toronto, one of the most multicultural places probably on this planet. And I keep trying to go to different cafes, restaurants, expose myself to new cuisines, new ingredients. It's a great place to train one's palate. The most common misconception about being a barista would be that baristas just make coffee. A true barista is so much more than that. We are an ambassador not only for the establishment that we make the coffee for, but also for everybody that's involved in the process of getting the coffee from the cherry to your cup. If there's anyone I could make a cup of coffee for, it would be Salvador Dali. I love his art. I also think he's an incredibly interesting person. He was also seen a lot around local cafes in Paris, so he is an avid coffee drinker. So I would love to make a cup of coffee for him, pick his brain, but also see how he likes the coffee that we make today versus back in his time. If you want to spice up your coffee game at home, I would suggest a good coffee grinder. It is crucial to have consistency in your grind to be able to develop and learn from every brew you make. So you should not use distilled water. This is something that I hear from a lot of people, unfortunately. They think that the cleanest, purest water is going to be the best for your coffee. However, distilled water is stripped from all its minerals, and you want those in there to bind with all the chemicals that are in the coffee to give you the best flavor you can get. What you should do instead is use filtered water. Especially at home, you don't have to get fancy. Use a filter that's going to remove any of the chlorine or any unwanted aromas or flavors that your tap water would have. So just like when we're making a cup of coffee, if we want an end result to taste a certain way, we have to adjust our grind setting and we have to have a certain temperature with the water. Same thing with music. We want to play a certain song. We need to make sure that our instrument is intact, that our instrument is tuned to a certain frequency to be able to play a certain song. The way I like to stay creative when it comes to creating recipes and creating new beverages is I like to take a recipe that I like and deconstruct it. I like to understand really its principles and see what the ingredients were used, what are the ratios, and then try to substitute it with different ones that are maybe similar or maybe sometimes contradicting and see what new flavors I come up with.